We're live. What up, you ham and eggs? This is your boy Yahweh here with my girl Darth Celeste. We about to talk Star Wars. This is a new thing we doing right here. Set this up on the
Brand
fly,
spanking new.
man. As you see, I'm already decked out in my Darth Zogrear, so I'm ready for whatever we about to talk. How are you doing so far, homie?
You talking to me? I'm
Yeah, I'm
doing
talking to you. How
great.
you doing?
I'm excited. I'm excited to get into the Star Wars talk. I'm excited to let our imaginations just run wild, man. I'm excited for this. How are you? You ready for this?
I'm great. Hell yeah. I've been like, I'm like, okay, how we gonna do this? We want to talk some Star Wars. We got to talk some this. I just got done talking to my boy. He just finished the end of Darth Maul. He got some words from Maul. He was like, yo, Maul, you wanted all that smoke. When Vader came, you backed down. I was like, all right, don't do my boy Maul like that. But I get it.
Oh,
You
I
talk
just
you
think he
talk the
wasn't
big
ready.
game. Talk the
I
big
just think
game.
he wasn't ready. That's all. But you know what I think with Maul? I think with Maul is like he's trying to get he all right. He was too busy trying to basically get his get back when he wasn't
Hmm.
really tapping in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was meditating here and there, but he wasn't tapped in to combat what he was what was ready to come after him as far as like the Inquisitors, even Darth Vader. I just feel like he wasn't all the way tapped in. Like he needed a little bit more dark energy.
Yeah, yeah. And he was still hurt. You remember his hip was still messed up from the Battle of the
Exactly. He
Inquisitors.
needed he needed he needed
No,
but in theory what we decided to meet for was the fact that we're getting this Mandalorian movie.
oh God. Oh,
What did we speak about, Zai? What did we speak about?
listen. Star Wars, Disney. Ever since you've taken over, I get why you're doing the Mandalore movie because Grogu's kind of like Chopper, where he sells merch. I get it. But we did not need a movie about this. You could have done a season. Just give
Yeah,
us another season, and you could have been go with it. If you want to do a little premiere, I don't care. But I don't care about Grogu's process into becoming a Jedi enough to sit down and
right.
pay $24 at a movie theater to watch about baby Grogu. I'm okay.
Yeah. I wonder what they're gonna elaborate on. You know what I mean? Because I know the Mandalorian is in between, like, the Empire falling and then I guess the rise to the First Order, I'm
Yes.
assuming. So I'm trying to figure out like what are you guys officially trying to show us in this movie, but that you couldn't really put in a series because at the end of the day, I love The Mandalorian.
Hmm.
The Mandalorian is what got me into Star Wars in the first place. I fell in
Yep.
love with Mandalorian. I fell in love with Grogu as well. I fell in love with the relationship, but I don't really necessarily need to see that on the big screen. I think they could have kept it going with the series. As far as what they wanted to show, with with them trying, I don't know what the hell they're trying to do. I don't know if they're trying to, I guess obviously like what we're saying, they're in the beginning, they're in the middle of like the First Order rising, but you know we still don't like 7 through 9. So I don't
Absolutely.
I don't understand. I don't really necessarily need to see that. In my opinion, I kind of just wanted to see where Grogu and Mandalorian, you know, how do they fit? How does okay? I was watching a video earlier today regarding Grogu, and the person was basically saying that Grogu is a great asset to Star Wars because he lives long, and we'll be able to see where I guess the Star Wars franchise goes through Grogu's eyes, depending how because of how long that he lives. Okay, I get that, but finish off the Mandalorian and Grogu's relationship because he inherited him. Grogu is now Din Grogu. So finish that off. Like finish off him becoming a Mandalorian or a Jedi slash Mandalorian, because that's basically what he is at the same time. You know, he's force sensitive, but he's also
Mm-hmm.
becoming a Mandalorian. So finish that story, like finish off him becoming a Mandalorian, finish off that training, you
Yep.
know, in series form. I don't know what they're doing, you know, like don't get me wrong, I still may watch it. I may go to the movies to watch it. I may not. But at the end of the day, I didn't want a movie. I really didn't.
No, no,
I really
no,
didn't.
no. And I think that's one thing that's what kind of brought us together. You know,
Yeah,
it was just like, and I'm like, I already know they're gonna sell Grogu merch, they're gonna sell Grogu things that the kids can sit there and like hold. And that's why I'm like, if you're doing it for the movies, I think it's just gonna be a showcase for Grogu, and I'm like, cool, but it's not gonna be what we want. They're gonna show like cute moments, like maybe him using a little bit of force, maybe him doing that, and I'm just like, this isn't enough for a movie thing.
right.
Like you said, you needed to build him up. Like
Yeah,
remember, he got
exactly.
taken by Ahsoka, and what came about that training? Like it was
Right,
like,
right.
okay, he met Luke. It's just like, yo, and he's still just doing the same. You piss me off today. Not gonna piss me off. Not gonna piss me off. Not gonna piss me off. Feel like that Jim Jones where he's standing out in the snow. All right now, come on now. He got a cigarette in his mouth, like tapping his like I'm just like, get it done or move the fuck on. Like,
Right, right. So let me ask you a question then. I got a question for you.
what's up?
Where would you have like for the franchise to go at this point?
I think they're doing good by resetting 7 through 9, like you said, because 7 through 9 was just
You think that's official?
I hope it's official because
Okay.
whatever 7 through 9 was completely destroyed whatever Star Wars was because they were trying to placate to so many people. You ended up pleasing the fan base that has been here with you. You had Star Wars fans, you wanted to tease new fans, you want to tease Disney fans, you want to tease. And it's just like, yo, and it got polluted. And I was
Yeah,
like,
very diluted. Very
oh,
diluted.
and this is why people don't like Ray, and that's on them. Like Ray could have been an interesting character, but you made her stronger. She's getting force lightning out of everywhere, and it's just like, oh, I was like,
Yeah. I
and
didn't like the, and this is gonna sound bad coming from a woman, but I didn't like the like woman empowerment that they were trying to do.
yo, my friend Scumbag McGee's gonna love you because he hated that shit too.
You know, I
Shout
didn't
out to
like it. Like, I don't understand why they had to make her the main person. I would have preferred, I forgot his name.
Ben.
Ben too, you know, Ben Solo, you know, I like that
No,
he
Finn. I meant Finn.
Finn, there you go, Finn. I would have preferred Finn. You know what I'm saying? She could have been like a supporting character, you know, and if she wanted to, I guess, still kind of like take the Skywalker name in a way. But I don't know. I didn't. What I disliked about where they went was 7 through 9 was how weak Luke Skywalker kind of looked or was. Like he was a hermit, he didn't want no parts.
Drinking that weird ass milk and shit like that.
Right. Let me tell you something, Za. Luke Skywalker was not afraid to fight Darth Vader, right? He was
Mm-hmm.
not afraid to fight Darth Vader. This man fought him like nothing, like not necessarily nothing, but like he didn't have no fear.
Yep.
When we get Darth Vader material nowadays, right? So let's think about this. When we get Darth Vader material, whether it be in the last season, because we always get him towards the end, but Rogue One, when he popped up in the end,
Mm-hmm.
people were scared. Scared when he popped up. I think it was in Rebels too. People were like, yo, wait, what is this? Even in Maul, Shadow Lord, he was like, yo, what? So for Luke Skywalker to then fight Darth Vader, and where was it? Was it the Empire Strike Back?
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back. Yep.
Empire Strike Back. He fought his pops and was
Mm-hmm.
not scared to bring him back. Like, yo, I know there's good in you. I'm gonna fight it out of you. And
Yep.
he was not afraid. they just kind of diluted Luke so badly in 7 through 9, diluted his entire
Yeah.
character and just flipped the script on us. I wanted to see a more thorough ass Jedi that was kind of in a way balancing both sides, like how I wanted Anakin to balance both sides. What I've been trying to figure out is like when is Lucas gonna allow another like official prime Jedi to come back? Because people don't understand that the Jedi's weren't the best example of good. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
if you think about it, what did the Jedi's do? The Jedi's basically abducted a force sensitive child, indoctrinated them, took them away from everything that they loved, and told them like, yeah, this is what you have to do, this is the way, you cannot stir from this, and you cannot you this is what you have to do. You know what I mean? You have to follow your master. You cannot stir, you cannot go into any type of darkness, when in actuality and reality, that's not how sentient beings are.
Mm.
Sentient beings will never like just be all just in on the light side. And I wish that Lucasfilm and all of them would kind of touch into like how the Jedi's were officially formed, and how, and I think it was the planet Typhon in Legends. And I like I said, I wish they would like kind of like get more materials from Legends, because Legends
Mhm.
is flooded with information and flooded with stories and flooded with characters that nobody kind of even like even speaks about. You know,
Yep.
we don't have any stories or live actions or animated series on these characters, but like give us a story of like how the Jedi's were formed officially with the Prime Jedi, and like show how like okay, these they were pretty much both balanced in dark and light, and whoever
Mhm.
kind of got off balance, they will ship them off to the moon, have them meditate, get it together. But what I want Lucasfilm to really get into is to see. I want them to show us how scary the Jedi's were of the dark side. They were scary.
Yep.
They were very scary of the dark side, and I want them to show like, yo, this is why they abduct children because they're
Mhm.
scared of
Yeah.
this. And people
Yeah.
think, oh, the dark side is all evil and no, I mean, it depends on how extreme you go with it. You know what I mean? But I feel like when you kind of are balanced on in both, that's where you actually reach peak, you know, being peak.
Beans. Yeah.
So how do you feel? Like, where do you think Lucasfilm should go?
Yeah, like I know everyone's always talking about Darth Raven and show, but you need to show that. You need to say like, hey, the Jedi have not just fucked up with Anakin, they fucked up with Raven too. Raven moved so far away that he did go to the dark side and then he came back.
Exactly.
I think the problem with them is they're trying to justify everything the Jedi did, and like you're right. I'm like the Jedi are complete. Like you need to show how the Jedi went from like peace loving monks to peace loving monks with armies. It's like yo,
Right.
we need to know where the disconnect came
Yeah.
from here to there to show like yeah they are kid. Like I always say, the Jedi are hypocrites.
Yeah.
You're saying you
The
want to
biggest
be
one.
peaceful, but you have a whole army. You can't do both. It's like
Right.
you can't do that. Then it's like you're kidnapping babies. You have all this money. You're in politics. It's like yo, we need to show. Like I was saying on one of your posts, people got mad at me. They're like, "Oh, Mace Windu's cool." I was like, "Yeah, Mace Windu's cool, but he's part of the problem too." Like
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like he is. Like you can love Mace Windu all you want. He's part of the problem. He's
Yeah.
one of the reasons why Anakin turned, and it was so easy for him to turn. I just wish they explored a little bit of that more, where you can see like, hey, the Jedi really did fuck up, and they
Yeah.
did like, yeah, the Sith are bad because Palpatine's just an asshole, but y'all are just as much to blame as the
As just
whack
as
in the
complicit. Yeah.
Force.
Yeah. Uh, because and it's crazy because what bothered me about like, and I love watching it because it was like it gave you more information. But what
Hmm.
bothered me about the Clone Wars was the Jedi's were supposed to be this peaceful, monkish,
Hmm.
society or
Hmm.
organization, but you guys are using these clone troopers like a meat grinder. Like they're expendable. You know, they were using
Hmm.
these clone troopers like it was nothing. By the millions they were like
Yep.
dying. And don't get me wrong, okay, I get it, you know, they have a fast, you know, their lifespans are different, but
Yep.
they're still alive. They still feel pain. They
Yep.
still can like think. They still like they may have dreams, you know. Like, I just thought it was just like so crazy, like that these Jedis had armies and platoons and like factions in some sections, you know, of the universe that they're.
Hmm.
I'm just like, damn, like how did you like, we saw the movie so we know how it happened, but like how did you guys like not see that this is like you guys are fighting in wars literally? What happened to peace? I don't know.
And you know what? This showed to me that the Star Wars first three, the Phantom Menace, and then that was just Jedi propaganda because they were forcing you to believe like the Jedi were really good people, and then but like people like us, we're like, wait, I don't really think you guys are doing a lot of good shit. Kidu Mundi, oh my god, the dude's a pretty much psychopath. He was like, hey, clones, they're useless. We can just go. I'm like, these are people. They have feelings, and you're just out here letting them slaughter. Attack of the Clone Wars is a cool movie, but if you think about it, they let so many Jedi to die. It's like you guys were ready, and you guys have Jedi's dying on the battlefield. Where if you guys just came prepared, you
Right.
guys would be ready. I just
Yeah.
look back at those movies now. I'm like, oh no, the Jedi, y'all deserve y'all fate because y'all was on
Right.
some bullshit right now. Y'all was on
Yeah.
major bullshit right now.
They were so arrogant. They were like they were arrogant AF. You know what I mean? Because they also like had this 100-year-old prophecy and like just kind of change, like you know how when you play like telephone and, like, and by the time
Mm-hmm.
it gets to you the message is all discombobulated. That's what I feel like the Jedis were working off when it came to this prophecy. You know what I mean? That was their biggest problem. Oh, no, that's the biggest problem. Yes, is the prophecy. The second other biggest
Mm-hmm.
problem was not being was completely being radicalized to just light side only.
Yep.
It's like the Jedi, if you go by, you
Yep.
know,
Yep. They had a different name. I love that you brought that up. A lot of people don't know that they weren't called Jedi. It was Jedi.
the
Star
Jedi.
Wars lore here.
Yeah, you know, the Jedi weren't just light, you know, but getting back to, you know, episodes, you know, 1, 2, and 3, yes, I was very frustrated with the Jedis and how they handled Anakin, you know, and everybody can sit here and say whatever, like they can, like you saw my post about
Mm-hmm.
you can sit here and tell me whatever, oh, the rule of the Sith and whatever the heck ever. Yo, if we really go by that, like, and that's another thing, they be downplaying, they like Lucasfilm and Disney, like you guys are downplaying force and all these powers, you're downplaying it. But if you really go by what Anakin Skywalker power level scale really is, he basically got rid of everything. Yeah, okay, I say he may have a Sith family, but I mean a Sith family, you know, in a sense where like these niggas ain't really all the way on the light side. They're gonna put you through the mud if you cross them type shit. They're
Yep.
not gonna be diplomatic, basically. You know, they're not gonna be a wholly diplomatic, you know, union where or faction where like, you know, they're gonna be a little bit more ruthless. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like being force sensitive people that wield sabers, you know, I really feel like with Anakin, they they played him. You know what I'm saying? They allowed this old ass man to kind of like in a way manipulate him because, you know, he wasn't getting his way with the Jedis. Granted, it does well for the story because we get a Vader, but
Hmm.
the way he lost everything and didn't really take it out on Palpatine doesn't sit well for me,
Mm-mm.
right? For instance, right? Let's say okay, he did lose Padme. He had Boba Fett find out who was it that took down the Death Star. Like
Hmm.
who took down the Death Star? Found out it was his son,
Yep.
and you ain't holler at Darth Sidious.
Nope.
Like where was your get back? Where was your anger when you found out that this nigga Palpatine lied to you about you losing your family or losing any, like you have nothing? Where was your anger towards that? Why didn't you flip and and completely excommunicate Palpatine or Darth Sidious and then like kind of like, all right, this is my empire, I'm gonna rule it how I see fit type shit, or like something like that, and include your kids or something, you know what I mean, and have Luke and Pat and Leia, sorry, kind of
Hmm.
like loosen the grip that the empire has, but still have some type of internal problem, you know what I mean, as far as like some Jedi's not seeing their ways, you know what I mean, I don't know.
I get it. And Palpatine's control over Anakin is just so wild for me. And going back to the powers, there are so many powers that they didn't. This Force generation, this Force future sight, this Force, and it's like, yo, y'all stick to the simple things. Choke, mind, and lightning. I was like, there's so much fucking else, guys. You need
Yes,
to expand your Force
expand.
knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll send you some clips that I've been seeing because I've been watching a lot of Star Wars lore,
Mm-hmm.
like way back. And it's like you would have like Darth Malgus talk to Palpatine. He's like, "Yo, you butchered the rule of the Sith. You don't even know you ruling over fear of lies and all that." And I was like, "Yo, we need more of that." How is people who are Star Wars fans making better content about Star Wars than the people who are meant to direct the films? It makes
Right.
no sense.
Yeah,
Oh,
I agree. I definitely agree. And I don't know what like who they're trying to appease to. Maybe like they're trying to get the younger crowd in, but I need it to be a little more dark.
yes,
I need it to be a little bit more dark. We're talking about magic and alchemy and
yes,
like space fucking wizards, like I said
pretty
before,
much,
you know
pretty
what
much.
I mean? Like these people are from a whole, like, you like expand, like let's, like use some, sci-fi, you know uh special effects to like give, like bring us there, like they do a good job with, like, for instance, if you watch Andor, the cinematography, the costumes and stuff like that that they use or they put, it was great. They transported you there. You know what I mean? I didn't feel transported
No,
when I was watching 7 through 9.
no.
I didn't feel like I was there. Like I didn't feel Kylo Ren's like dark energy. But for some reason, when I see a Darth Vader pull up, oh, I feel that shit. You know what I mean? I feel it. So why do you guys give Anakin as Darth Vader so much like spooky, sinister power,
Uh
and not
huh.
like kind of like go back and expand on, okay, how even the Sith were created, why the Sith even happen, you know what I
Yep.
mean? Like let's get to that. And it could even be flashbacks in like in series forms, like it, for instance, we could get like a series that's like, we'll say, hold on, I wrote it down, we'll say like High Republic, you know, let's talk. You will see like a series of the High Republic, but then we'll get like kind of flashbacks of like, like Ajunta Paul being one of the,
Yes.
you know what I mean, like turning against the Jedi Order and like causing the rift between the light and the dark, and just people going completely radical dark, and people staying radical light. Like show why these Jedi's are so scared of
Yep.
of being on both sides. That's what I really want to see. You know what I mean?
I'm totally with you, and I want to see the rule of two more expanded on, like how maybe Plagueis and Darth Tenebrous, and like how their way of the Sith was different than Palpatine, because Palpatine bastardized, like I said. You need
Yeah.
to see maybe Darth Bane. Oh, you give me a Darth Bane movie. Like, let me
Right.
see how the rule of two fucking
Yeah.
started. There's so
Right.
much there. There's
Right.
so much there. And I feel like 7 through 9 just washed all of that away because you made Luke this um older, I don't care about life type person. And I'm like, yo, but then you give him a moment in the Mandalorian where he comes off and he's a complete badass.
A
And
savage.
oh my god,
A
he's
savage.
scared. He scared him so bad he couldn't even move. All he said was, "Yo, give me the kid." Because once again, they don't know how he killed the Emperor. They don't know how he killed Vader. All they know is that David. So there's no one who knows. So Luke's lore is through the roof. And
Right.
this man's over here on this remote island drinking milk, using Force Ghosts to take. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, and Kylo Ren, oh God. Yo, they had something with Snoke. They could have gotten something with that. But they killed him within the first half of the movie. I'm like, yo, who cares?
Right.
You built up Snoke in that first movie just to kill him without no qualms, no nothing. Come on, man. You
I
can't.
didn't even like the what they were trying to use Snoke as. Like, why use Snoke to like as a precursor to bring Palpatine back? Who gives a fuck about Palpatine? Like, nobody cares about Palpatine anymore. You know what I mean? Move forward. That man lost. Like, leave it alone now. You know what I'm saying? Leave it alone. And then they try to give us like the explanation of like how Palpatine returned with the Bad Batch. If you catch it, right? If you really think about it with the Bad Batch, they try to give us like, oh, did you watch it with
I
Omega?
didn't have that. I've never
Oh
watched Bad
man,
Batch.
real quick. They try so with the Bad Batch, what they did was Omega, which is one of the was a clone. She was a
Uh
clone,
huh.
like the bad like she was a clone, like the clone troopers. But she was made special. She was made so that she could replicate midichlorian. Like her blood can replicate midichlorian. So this clone, if you do a blood transfusion with a force sensitive kid or being, she can eventually, if she works hard enough, wield the force. And that's
Yeah.
how Palpatine like was able to still survive because he was cloning himself or some crap along the lines
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
No, 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 no. Absolutely not.
They just do anything
Pure
nowadays.
garbage at the end of the day.
Just do everything and anything. Oh,
Well,
oh,
so a lot of things that we kind of like want to see could be animated.
yes,
You know what I mean? I don't necessarily need a movie. I don't need to go to the movie theaters to watch it. Animate that shit. Make it into
yes,
an animated movie. If you know what I mean, to make it easier so that you don't have to worry about casting. You know what I mean?
yep,
Worry about, even when it comes to like, we'll say what Luke did after, after episodes, 4, 5, and 6. Let
yes,
animate that.
please,
Give us a little bit of that too. But I definitely really wish that they would like, okay, yeah, they make the Skywalkers so important, but they weak. Come on, like they just
yeah,
destroying
no,
their story.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
destroying the story. So like, all right, get out of this timeline, go back a little bit, and give us more lore with that. Give us a little bit more lore with that, how it started. Like, I want to see the Prime Jedi. They showed us a snippet of the Prime Jedi,
yep,
in 7 through 9, and you can clearly see that mosaic thing was like one side was dark,
mm-hmm,
one side was light.
mm-hmm,
Let's see that, because I'm pretty sure, from there, that's where people, some, it, and that material, it's like very vague sometimes here and there. So if they could just kind of like formulate a story, that would be great.
please,
Formulate a
please.
story. Don't just say, "Oh no, that's legends," so it's not canon. So make it canon. You know
Darth Maul and Vader never met. Yeah, they somehow found to
They-
make it canon. You can
exactly.
do it.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no excuse. There really isn't. Because I did look it up. When Maul started, right? When Maul first started, I looked I was like, yo, did Maul and Darth Vader ever like fight or ever meet? No. So the
Mm-mm.
show made that canon. And I'm down with that. I don't care. Like that was cool. That was great. That was great.
Yes.
But to grab some of what's in Legends and make that add to the story, like expand, go back. Because they tried
Yeah.
with the acolyte, and I don't know what the hell was that.
Oh my God. Ye- Once again, trying so hard to do it because how is she a Sith? The Sith weren't, and it's just like, yo, guys, you guys are butchering the history just to make a profit. To me, is wild, and you're not even getting good history, so it makes it even more blasphemous. It's like, yo, if you're gonna bastardize history, at least make it good.
Mm,
Bastardize history, that shit sucks. It's like, yo, I deserve all the flames I get. I'm glad that people are like, yo, it's shit's ass, and I hope they do really try to rehash 7 through 9. It was not needed.
yeah.
It's kind of staying on the Star Wars universe and movies. Like,
Mm,
come on. As much as
mm.
we don't like Phantom Menace, we'll give it its props. You
Right.
can't give anything props to any of those three movies. Nope. There's none. Ain't a goddamn thing worth. Ain't a goddamn thing worth. I haven't, like, they're so bad. I've never watched them after watching the movie theaters. I was so upset. I was like, yo, don't ever talk to me about that shit. Ever.
Yeah, I didn't watch it in the movie theaters, but I did watch it like each film, like 7, 8, 9. Watch at least 2 times just to see like was I out overreacting with how
No.
much I disliked the story,
Nope.
and I wasn't.
Nope.
I wasn't.
Absolutely not.
I wasn't because they killed everybody off. Like, how you guys gonna sit here and try to bring nostalgia back, or give the fans some nostalgic like feelings, but then kill freaking what was Ford's
Han Solo.
Han
Han
Solo,
Solo.
like by his own son too. Like I was so mad, and then for the son to like flip side. So you mean to tell me you were gonna be good the whole time? For you just killed your dad for no reason. You just killed your dad for no reason,
Uh,
no reason at all. The
and
whole
then
Leia
Leia has superpowers where if she gets shot, she can magically move herself from wherever the plane was blew up. I was like, if you're gonna do that, I need a Leia background. How she trained the Force. That shit
exactly,
came out of nowhere, and I
exactly,
hated that shit. Oh
exactly. It was disgraceful. It really was. And 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 then she ended up dying anyway, right?
yes.
She
So
died.
you did all that just to kill her, then let her die.
She died. Luke is in the Force.
Oh.
I don't know. Like they just completely like, you know, the problem with those stories was, why didn't they give us, yeah, they love the Skywalker family. They had so many kids. Why give us Ray? If you if you had all these, they had children, they got married, they had children. We could have gotten like a uh Tales of the Skywalker. You know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
know how we got Tales of the Empire,
Yes.
Tales of the Skywalker. Show us,
Yes.
after Luke, how Luke had his children, Leia and Ben having their children. I'm sorry, and Leia and Han having their children. Them, like a quick little 4 episode of how their children grew up, and then give us a 7, 8, 9.
Yep.
Show us, okay, which one of their kids go dark, completely dark.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's who we have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like 7, 8, 9. But like, nah, like, uh, uh, who the fuck was Ben Solo? Was that even their child for real?
I don't even know.
Did they have a
Apparently,
Ben Solo kid? Like I know
I
they had
think I.
children, but I don't
Yeah.
think they had a Ben Solo. I think
No,
that
I
was
think
a
they had a
whole
daughter.
completely.
Yeah, they said he's supposed to be an alien or something like that. That's what my boy Scumbag McGee and was telling me, and I'm believing him. But honestly, to put this to bed, I don't want any more Skywalker series for a little bit. Like you guys have bastardized that. You guys are hitting that. It is like the dead horse. Leave that shit alone. Let's focus
Okay.
on other stuff. Let's focus on
Okay. I can agree with that.
like for a little bit. Like for a little bit, let's stop focusing on Skywalker series. It is over. Skywalker saga for at least the next couple of times. No more talk about it. If you're gonna do
Yeah.
movies, Old Republic, maybe a Darth Raven movie, Darth Bane. Let's go away. I don't care about Skywalkers right now. Like,
Yeah.
and it's because of Disney. That's why I
Yeah.
don't care about them.
Yeah.
And you need at least give us some other stuff, and then it'll be like, oh, okay. How did this connect? Maybe like give a tale of Star Wars, Scott, but not right now. Not right now. Not right now.
Right.
It's too much. It's too much. It's
Right.
too much.
Because at the end of the day, it is called Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas need to be having wars. It's about people facing adversity against a fucking, a whole entire entity that is bad. So
Yep.
yes, give us some type of yes, give us a different story. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. But at the end of the day, yes, we don't need a Mandalorian movie.
Mm-mm.
I am glad though that we're getting this force sensitive child, this Grogu. Like I'm glad we're
Mm-hmm.
getting Grogu, and because he lived so long, we may get some type of order where it's not I don't know what they're going to be classified as, because maybe they can still call themselves Jedis just off of the strength of wielding a saber and being force sensitive, but it can't just be like good, 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 good. Like y'all gotta be able to like be balanced in both. It's okay. Like it's okay to admit that the Jedi Order, that Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon and Mace Windu and even Grandmaster Yoda that was a part of, it's okay to admit that the way they was doing it was wrong. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Admit that shit. That's what I want. I want some type of show or movie or something admitting that we got to, thanks to Anakin or whatever, things completely flipped, and
Yep.
we got this is what we're going to be doing now. You know? Yeah.
That's all I had to say on that one.
Cool. Me
Well,
too.
this is a great episode for number one. We're gonna be keep coming at you guys with more Star Wars things, Star
That's
Wars
right.
lore, Old Republic. No, no, not touching the Skywalker series. Not touching the Skywalker
Let's not
series.
talk
We're
about
not
the
more.
Walker
No
series.
more of that. Let's talk more other stuff, man. What is? Let's talk. There's so much. There's so much canon, non legends, all of that. That's what's gonna be here. This is Star Wars talk for a reason. This is not
Yes,
Skywalker talk. This is Star Wars talk.
Star Wars talk.
Any
I'm
final
with it.
thoughts? Any final statements?
Final statements would be that yes, don't get me wrong. I'm excited for, Mando and Grogu because they have a special place in my heart. So I'm excited that we're getting something new. But I don't need it in the movie theaters. That's my final thought. I don't need it in the movie theaters. Give me
Oh,
another series.
pretty much. She talks for both of us. And we can end on that note. Thank you guys for joining us. Make
Thanks.
sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This is going to
Don't
be on
forget.
our page. We're going to have videos, shorts coming out to you very soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I got to get ready for my wrestling podcast. So we are out. Thanks, Lev, for
Later.
joining me. Later.